Hi guys, I know this is kind of early as always. There is another update content thing happening tonight, or that happened about an hour ago. I was debating whether or not I should upload this video, but I had been asked, I guess, if there was going to be a video or if any of these banners that got announced were worth it, especially with, I guess, talks of maybe a collab coming back, or if maybe it's worth it because, the holidays are coming around, maybe they'll add updates. So I just wanted to, I guess, talk about a couple of things. I know this is going to be, I guess, kind of similar, but not really quite as similar as the things that I do normally. I know sometimes I'll rant or people talk, but let's just get into the content update. The first thing that we've been shown, I guess, is these two banners. And long story short, Iseria is definitely not a character that most people will pull for nowadays because typically they have them from the very beginning. And since there's the infinite reroll thing that I just recently discussed on a small plug, but on the Sunday snapshot, which is my little recap thing, nowadays, since everyone has infinite rerolls, Iseria is not that popular in terms of being a banner that people want to pull on. Song of Stars is pretty nice though for those of you that are either struggling in Wyvern or need Song of Stars on your Rangers. Something that I think is kind of worth noting is that for those of you that are interested in trying to complete Zeo or trying to beat Zeo, one of the things that is really nice is that if you compare Furious with Song of Stars and S2, S3 onto the boss, the target debuff allows Sigrid, if you're using the one-shot composition, which is Sigrid, Auxiliary Lots, Furious, and Adventure Roz. If you're using that team to one-shot Zeo with, Sigrid Soulburn and Furious decreasing the stat requirements that you need, Song of Stars is personally, in my opinion, one of the nicer ways to get around that hurdle. Aside from that, a ton of people already like to use Song of Stars in PvE. Wyvern is obviously a huge thing, and although there are pieces of content that don't want you to have too many debuffs, as Mana comes to mind, Song of Stars, generally speaking, is worth getting at least one copy of in most people's books just because of how much PvE potential it has. That being said, though, not a really big banner that I think anyone would really probably pull for. Debatably or arguably, you might want to pick up a copy of Song of Stars from the Powder Shop if you do end up, I guess, having an interest in Song of Stars. The next banner is kind of bait. Now, I say it's kind of bait, but in all honesty and technically speaking, Vildred is one of the most worthwhile imprints in the game. Arguably the most worthwhile imprint in the game because he's the only imprint that's a 5-star that also gives you speed as the team-wide imprint. That being said, it is, I believe, 2 speed per imprint, so you would actually need, I think, 5-ish copies. I think it's 5 copies of Vildred in order to gain the max benefit from having the speed imprint. For those of you that I guess aren't completely filled out, maybe you have a +8, you have a +10, maybe it's worthwhile for you to pull for Vildred and get a single copy of Vildred. However, this is a very, very low priority thing. But in all technicalities, kind of the way that people say that crit chance or the way that crit chance is better than crit damage next, this is kind of a luxury and you definitely don't need to pull for Vildred by any means. However, I do think that his artifact, Sword of Summer Twilight, is also pretty decent. Sword of Summer Twilight gets paired a lot with characters like Bloodblade Karen or Ran because it does a lot of damage. It's pretty much, I believe, tied with or equal to Wind Rider in terms of damage. The impact or the damage scaling or the value kind of goes up and down based on how much defense you're penetrating or if you value the stealth from Wind Rider. However, in general, this banner is definitely, or these two in general, both of these banners are not bait by any means. And what I mean by that is that they aren't so bad that, people get baited into pulling them for whatever random reason. Although it's not really bait, something, or what I'm trying to reference is when Smilegate will release Tamarin or very, very important characters like Tamarin or Ruana, PvE important characters, right before a collab or something like that, and force you or kind of persuade some early to early mid-game players to pull for these characters, and then boom, they get a collab, or boom, there's a whole new piece of content that comes out, and now you're out of Skystones. I don't think that's the case for these two banners. If you want to pull for the banners, I don't think Smilegate is trying to gotcha you or set you up for failure. These are pretty much maybe at most banners that you would pull 1 or 2 copies of. Maybe you like get 1 pity, and then if you get the artifact, you do. Otherwise, you just use the powder, or you sell all the random extra stuff that you got from pity, and you use it to buy the artifact. Sword of Storm Twilight, especially, is really nice for RTA. I can't really say that it's great for PvE the way that Song of Stars is, but Song of Stars does technically have usage on Lua, does also have usage sometimes on some other like niche rangers. The target is really nice though. Iseria is also technically a dupe for Summertime Iseria, Briarwitch Iseria. At this point, there could be 100 Iserias. And Vildred himself, again, does have the value in being an imprint. So with all that being said, these 2 banners are you'd probably categorize them as luxury banners. However, they're not like bait banners by any means. I guess bait if you want to think about it that way, because only really whales would need it. But the next thing that they've announced is the coin shop item renewal. And what can I say? So Rowana is a great character here, but the thing about the Covenant coin shop rotation is that it is almost never worth it, even as a whale, to buy any of these characters, because in order for you to even get whale coins or these Covenant coins, you would have to pull a character, I believe, 6 or 7 times. And each time that you pull a coin or you pull a dupe character, it's only 8. To be frank, at this point, if you're trying to spend 8 pity or like 8 dupes worth of coins to buy a single copy of a character, it just doesn't really make sense, because in order to get 64 coins, you probably have most, if not all, the characters anyways. I don't honestly know why the cost for these coins or the cost for these heroes is so high. It is what it is, I guess. But the characters here, Rowana is great. Teiyu was really bad. He really needs some love. Some people on occasion will try to build Teiyu, but it's kind of cope. Pavel is also decent, I guess, for Banshee one-shots, and he's a relic of the past for RTA. However, I know a lot of people like Pavel, and technically speaking, he's also an imprint for Commander Pavel, who a lot of people use in Arena and stuff. That being said, though, the only character I would ever even remotely consider pulling for or getting from this is Rowana, and even that makes no sense, because it would just be much easier for you to get her out of the story summons. So, that being said, don't pull anything. Your PSA now, do not pull anything or buy anything from the Covenant coin shop when it comes to this. And finally, we have the Galaxy coin shop, which it's not the greatest. Like, I know a lot of people love top model Luluka for her design. People are kind of interested in the concept of Silverblade Araminta. Silverblade Araminta does like the burns and the stuns, and then the enemy team can't move, and then they get punished, and you're having fun because they're not having fun, as is tradition with EpicSeven. But the really big kind of question mark, I guess, here is whether or not, obviously, Last Rider Crow is going to be worth pulling for. And the answer should be yes, especially because this is probably one of the only good Galaxy coin, this is one of the only good Galaxy coin shop characters you can pull for right now. And I know we're kind of in this high of getting a bunch of Moonlight characters. If you got your character from Moonlight Theater, and then you got the character from the Headhunt, and now you could also potentially get a free Last Rider Crow, that's 3 Moonlight 5-stars. All of the characters that you could pick from that list too are really, really impactful. If for some reason, let's say you got Conqueror Lilius from like the Headhunt, or you got Conqueror Lilius from like Fallen Lands or something like that, or Remnant Violet, and then you took like Conqueror Lilius, or you got Mediator Cowrick, and then you got Last Rider Crow. That's kind of a big boost to any account. Now obviously you can choose, and or if you got Death Dealer Ray, actually, I know that character is actually available from Moonlight Theater if for some reason you pick them. But in any case, the combination of, or the addition of 3 Moonlight 5-stars to your account in basically 3 to 5 months is kind of a huge boost. I don't think anyone would argue that Last Rider Crow is good right now, but I do understand that people are waiting, or they're hounding for like a Zeo rerun, or they're waiting to see if Zeo or another character will come to the coin shop. That being said, though, guys, I think Last Rider Crow is a great choice, and though Last Rider Crow was a great choice, this patch was not, because I get it, it's our in-between week, but there was basically nothing else to talk about. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. This was my current, or my kind of quick thoughts about the 11:30 update content. There's like a couple of content, or there's a couple of like I guess, things in the pipeline, and I'm sure they're getting ready for Christmas and holiday events and stuff. We'll probably see, or I hope, oh my god, cross fingers, that we'll see Christy next week, or maybe a surprise update or something. Who knows? But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. If you did, make sure to like, comment, turn the notification bell, subscribe. Make sure to check out the rest of my platforms. I'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.